I first came to Slavonski Brod a few years ago to visit an Australian-Croatian lady who had relocated from Sydney, and she'd chosen to move here because of the safety and the lifestyle compared to what she got back in Australia. When I came, I found a very relaxed and vibrant city. Slavonski Brod is the 7th largest city in Croatia. It doesn't make the headlines too often, but if you actually come and spend some time here, you'll find a very pleasant place, and also a city which is changing very positively on a number of ways. Continuing our series, Croatia When the Glass is Half Full, here are 10 ways that Slavonski Brod is improving. The importance of sport in Slavonski Brod is immediately visible as soon as you come to the fashionable Corso. Here embedded in the Hall of Fame are 6 plaques, one to footballer Ivica Olic, and then we have the semi-final hero, Mario Mandzukic, from the 2018 World Cup finals, and also Ivan Rakitic, who was born just outside the town. But it's not just football. We also have here commemorations to the Olympic Games in Atlanta and Athens, and also to basketball, and also to handball. And what's really encouraging about Slavonski Brod today is there is a considerable investment in sport so that we can find the stars of the future. Swimming is an important part of daily life in Croatia, especially for those that live on the Adriatic. But up here on the Sava, people take their swimming quite seriously too. Behind us is the Gradski Bazen, the city swimming pool here in Slavonski Brod, and it's being expanded quite significantly to include quite a lot of additional features, including a lot of outdoor pools with slides. There's a pool there for non-swimmers. There's a jacuzzi for adults, and this is now something that's it'll be opening soon, and this will become a very, very big summer attraction. And the indoor pool obviously is an all-round facility. So this focus on sport and healthy lifestyle in Slavonski Brod is something that's very, very noticeable. In addition to football, canoeing is another real growth industry here in Slavonski Brod, and as you see behind us, we have the canoeing centre, and the Sava was in Slavonski Brod was the host for the European Canoeing Championships last year, and the youth of Slavonski Brod are really taken to the sports, and they recently returned from an international meeting in Serbia with no less than 13 medals. So lots and lots of potential to develop the sport here as well, and facilities are going in. One more commitment to sport in the city from the city itself is the Klasia Sports Centre in the heart of the city, where there has been a lot of investment which is ongoing, and at the moment we have this little sports centre behind us. We have a couple of artificial football pitches with a small stand there. We have some tennis courts behind, and we have also basketball courts coming, and this is open to all citizens, and this is something again which confirms the commitment of the city to sport. Immigration is a key issue in eastern Croatia, and Slavonski Brod has come up with some fairly innovative solutions to try and stem that tide and to encourage young people to stay. One of them is, among the first in the country, is an initiative to make housing more affordable for young families. So the city has come up with a scheme whereby they have a range of 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, each with parking, each with the appropriate energy certificates, and young families are allowed to rent these at a low rent for a 10-year period, and after the 10-year period they have the ability to buy these with all the money they've paid in rent so far taken into consideration in the purchase price. There's no interest accrued in the whole thing, and this is making things very attractive, and up to 100 families now have taken people up on this offer. And behind you see a complex of apartments in a nice quiet part of town, and a very nice place to grow up. In addition to the initiative for low-cost housing, there is also an option for getting municipal land for young families, where they can take the land for a 10-year period at a low rent and start to construct, and then they have the opportunity to buy that land if they want to, and then they get a 99-year lease. And this is taking place in just the same area as the low-cost apartments. So there's a very nice neighbourhood of young families building up here with different facilities, and it's a very nice initiative, and I think it's something that we should expand nationwide. If you go to Zagreb or Split, you could be forgiven for thinking that bus travel in Croatia was not a very important thing because the status of the bus stations there are really, really terrible. If you come to Slavonski Brod, however, you'll have a much different experience. This is a very important transport hub between various different connections in eastern Croatia and through to Zagreb and beyond. And in December 2021, the most modern bus station in Croatia was opened here, and it's a pretty impressive building servicing lots of different lines and various different facilities. And it's a much more pleasant experience than I've experienced at most bus stations in Croatia. There was a significant addition to the cultural offer of Slavonski Brod earlier this year on April the 12th when the Kuća Tamboura opened, House of Tamboura Slavonian musical fairy tale. Located in the historic and quite magnificent Slavonski Brod fortress, this is a celebration of the very, very influential and important Slavonian musical instrument, the Tamboura, which spawns lots of tamburashi. You've probably heard them as you go around Croatia. And it's really, really an exceptional, detailed look at the history of this instrument. And it's arranged through 8 different halls. And take a look at this. Here's an interesting map. In the yellow you see all the global influence of the Tamboura, and you can see the power of the diaspora in dispersing Croatian culture around the world. Literally, the Tamboura has places in every single corner of the planet.
In 2023, the Innovation and Business Centre Brod welcomed its first companies. As the name suggests, Brod is focused on innovation and technology, helping startups and companies specialising in technology. The 1,800 square metre space offers offices, co-working spaces, production and service units, as well as a virtual incubator, and there are a number of business support services also available.
A major part of Slavonski Brod's social welfare policy is in the building behind us, the Milan Amroš School, which will be opening next year. It's 4,500 square metres in total, and it will be the largest special needs school in the region, catering to up to 250 kids and their needs. In addition to becoming an educational facility, it would also have accommodation for adults with disabilities and also a lot of preschool special needs programs, as well as other seminars and welfare activities. Very unusual aspect of Slavonski Brod tourism, which I'd never considered personally, is beach tourism. And here we are on what was once named the best river beach in Croatia. It's called Poloj. There are various buildings around which you can rent. It's a very, very open space. There are facilities, bar, restaurants, various different sporting activities. It's mostly grass. The river's up a little bit today, but when you go down it becomes a sandy beach, and I have to say a divine spot. And as you see behind me, the only river street in Croatia. You see all the houseboats behind me. This is Pavelica. This is where a number of people, they live on these boats on the Sava. Complete tranquility. What a wonderful way of life to have. Only in Slavonski Brod. One of the most impressive buildings on the Korza and on the banks of the Sava is the house where Hans Christian Andersens of Croatia, Ivana Brlić-Majurnić, lived and worked for most of her life. This year is the 150th anniversary of her birth, and it's been celebrated in some style in Slavonski Brod, and there have been various events. And if you go inside the house, there's a really spectacular museum showcasing her life and how she lived and obviously her work. And this year, over 6,000 children from various different schools have come to Slavonski Brod to visit her house on this historic birthday. This has given a lot of inspiration to a new generation of children to this exceptional writer. So there we are, Slavonski Brod. It's a city which is moving forward in terms of sports, social welfare, infrastructure, entrepreneurship. It's a really, really peaceful, chilled out place, and there's a lot to offer. And next time you're passing through on the motorway between Zagreb and Bocek, why not pop in and check it out? It's well worth a visit.